Hi, my name's Bruce. This is my channel, and thank you very much for clicking and watching and all that stuff. Oh, I'm having a subscriber drive, and the current goal for subscriptions is 635. If I could get to 635, well, that'd be kind of amazing. It's about 635 more than I ever thought I'd get. Now, the topic of today's video is a couple things, but really it's, as you know, I like to make videos about public policy and economics, and right now we have some things going on in the world. I'd like to make a comment on the US election. There seems to be a move afoot where we have a tendency occasionally to elect people that are really ill-suited to the job. That's what has happened. Oh well, time marches on, and that's it. So eventually there'll be another election, but I'll tell you one thing about the United States is goodness gracious, there's an awful lot of very, very, very impressive people there that are working very, very hard. And that's a simple fact. The United States has traditionally and really almost since its inception been a force really for good in the world. It's a shining beacon of light, and it's a nation which really we all kind of in a way wish to emulate many aspects of. Maybe not every aspect, but many aspects of. So there you go. So congratulations to the United States on having their election and choosing the new president and such, and I wish them every success. That's that. Now, here in Canada, we have an election on the way as well. In the province of Nova Scotia, Premier Tim Houston has decided to have an election and kind of circumvent a couple things. And Premier Tim Houston, he's the leader for the past couple of years of the province of Nova Scotia. And if you check out my last video, I kind of gave him a bit of a report card. It's not necessarily a glowing report card, but it's not a complete zero either. And certainly, if you're looking to elect a member in your local area, if you happen to be watching this from Nova Scotia, and you can choose someone, I think that maybe if you wind up not having Premier Tim Houston as your premier going forward, that would be good. But oh well, that happens. Now here, the province of Ontario, we have a bit of not a controversy, but a discussion, and this is definitely related to economics and public policy, controversy and discussion about bike lanes. If you've been following my videos from the very beginning of this channel, I don't think anyone actually has. If you could raise a hand if that's you, that'd be great. But I talk a lot about the role of government and the role of individuals and people and the role of businesses. Well, business is easy. They just want to make money. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. The role of government is very straightforward. It's called, it's not easy, but it's to maximize the well-being of everyone in the society, within the economy. It's going to balance interests. Now, in Ontario, we have Premier Doug Ford. He's the leader, and he's decided to do some things which are a little bit mystifying, but that happens when you're not necessarily as abreast and as well educated as maybe some other leaders in the world are, maybe the leaders of some businesses. So one thing Doug Ford is doing, oh, and there was a wonderful comment that someone left about this. One thing Premier Ford is doing is he's building new nuclear plants. Now, new nuclear plants are just an abysmal idea. That's about as bad of an idea as one could have. There's such a bad idea that other regions of the world have embarked on building new nuclear plants, and they've gotten X percentage of the way down the road, and they've spent a horrendous amount of resources, a horrendous amount of money. It's taken a horrendously long time, and they've said, you know what? This is nuts. We're not doing it. Stop. They just abandoned the project. Some other projects have come online. There's been one in the United States. I think after 30 years or something of construction, it's began. And there's been France has abandoned nuclear projects, and there's a nuclear project in England that has been under construction for more or less 20 years, and with no real end in sight, and no one's going to commit to how much further resources it will take to end that. Nuclear energy is, by new nuclear, is by the available data, it's 100 times as expensive as the next best option. So if you're thinking that you'd like to have additional electricity generation, and that is a good idea, there are far better choices. Solar, wind, and stored energy are just working. Texas has largely turned their back on the problems that they had in the past with their electrical system through the addition of wind energy and stored energy and battery storage, grid scale, large battery storage, and solar. Anyway, moving this along, our Premier, Doug Ford, and him, he really doesn't like bicycles. He doesn't like bike riders, he doesn't like that, and he seems to like cars, and he seems to like congestion. So his idea for getting some more congestion is to remove bike lanes, and to really get more congestion is to build more highways, which there's no one that has studied this thinks this is a good idea. It's a horrible idea. And now he wishes to remove bike lanes from the city of Toronto. Now Doug Ford has found that it appeals to his electorate, and it's a strong message to his base of support if he can campaign against Toronto, and he's realized that Toronto really isn't going to vote for him anyway, and so what the heck, we can throw those people under the bus, or in this case, throw them and their bikes squarely under a dump truck, and that'll be over. So he wants to remove bike lanes. Now, as you know, you've been following, the rules of budget for a province are not the same as the rules of budget for your household. So they can be a little bit willy-nilly, and that's fine. Now, Premier Doug Ford, he ran on a platform. He said he was going to be, grow the economy and be budget friendly and all that stuff. It hasn't really been working out, and then stuff with healthcare, that hasn't been working out either. But this example of these bike lanes, the budget estimates to remove the bike lane that he wants to remove is $87 million or something like that. I call it $100 million, which is probably closer to the truth, but not really high enough. Now, if you think about it, it's $100 million to create disruption and to destroy something that exists and is working very, very well. Traffic is flowing lovely. It's much more safe for people that use the bike lanes. It's much safer for people that are in their cars. It's safer for people in the subways. It's just better for everyone around. So we're going to spend $100 million to do this. And $100 million. Now, what could you do with $100 million? $100 million would certainly get you more nurses. It would certainly get you more custodial staff in the healthcare system. It would be a nice thing to devote to education. $100 million is many, many, many things you could do with that. But when you're building new nuclear plants, $100 million looks like a bit of milk added to your coffee. It's nothing. But at the same time, it's something. It's $100 million, and it's better not spent on vandalizing Canada's largest city. Anyway, okay, so you know where I stand on this, and this is, I don't make this stuff up. This is, I just repeat. I don't just repeat. I mean, I have a pretty significant foundation for assessment, but what I'm saying is this is the expert viewpoint. This is what bodies of hundreds of transportation experts, hundreds of people that study energy systems, hundreds of people that study construction, hundreds of economists. This is basically the textbook response. Okay, it may not be the knee-jerk response. It may not be the response that's going to appeal to certain bases of the electorate, but what the heck? Anyway, my name's Bruce. If you find this stuff at all engaging or somewhat entertaining or somewhat anything, please subscribe. Like I said, I'm on a subscription drive and I'm hoping to get 605 subscribers, which would be amazing. I mean, to me, amazing. To maybe Mr. Beast or someone with 150 million subscribers. I can't imagine that. Jeez, wow, what the heck? Anyway, I make the videos because it gives me an opportunity to share my views and some of the experience and education that I've had through my life, and a lot of it's been rather hard won. I was listening to something from, I think it was Richie Sambora, a guy who played for a Bon Jovi guitar player, and he was talking about his first experience playing a big concert, and they messed it all up. It was a catastrophe. It was embarrassing, and any sensible person would be embarrassed, but moments of embarrassment and changing your mind and moving forward are really character building and something that enriches our lives. I recommend it. There's something about trying and assessing, evaluating, changing your path going forward. That's it. Anyway, thank you very much. Okay, bye now. And please subscribe. See ya.